Yo, Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood, aka my mother's favourite rapper, and this is the In Your Neighbourhood podcast, baby.
Ready to explode, yeah, like a fucking cannon. And I'm never gonna give up on this game until it fucking happens. I can't explain the
In Your Neighbourhood, episode 15. As you can see, Reali-T's not in the building today. He's not in the neighbourhood.
He's bounced.
He's down in London, I think, doing some radio or something for his music. But you still got myself here. We've got Beezy here. How you doing, Beezy?
I'm decent. You need to give yourself a better introduction than that, man. It should be like 50 minus 10.
No introductions needed,
40.
mate. No introductions needed. But there might be an introduction needed because we've got a special guest.
Yes, sir.
Upcoming MC from our neck of the woods, the northeast of England. Put a few videos out, few songs out, getting some attention at the minute. It's B.Ripz. What you saying, mate? You good?
What's good, boys? He's all right, boys.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Thanks for coming on.
No problem, bro. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, we'd have the soundboard for you, but Reali-T's taking a soundboard with him as well. It's in his backpack, so we'll just pretend that we'll give you some celebrations there. Like,
no problem, bro.
Yeah, mate. Tell us a bit about yourself for the people who don't know you, mate. Where you from? You know, how'd you get into music and all that?
Basically, I'm from Kingston Park, obviously Newcastle. Getting into music, I've done it from a young age. Obviously, when I was about 15, I went to my first studio, but it didn't quite work out.
How do you mean it didn't work out? What happened?
Well, it just the quality of the track that I got back was just, it wasn't very good. So I just kind of went off the idea for a few years. And then B.Ripz came about and, whoa, headphones dropped. B.Ripz came about and we just started doing bits. There's a few lads from my area who were doing the music. So we just all sort of linked up and that's where Kinky Boyz Entertainment came in. We just sort of created that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because so I'm not from Newcastle, you know, so like I'm not that familiar with all the areas and that. And when he had Kinky Boyz, I'm like, Kinky Boyz, yeah. that's a mad name.
Yeah, you know what it is, bro. But we opened a studio. We had our own studio, and we called it Kinky Boyz Entertainment. But obviously, we didn't quite think people on the outside is gonna. So anyway, the wife who sold with the studio, she actually came up and said, "Can I ask you as a question, boys? I've had a head office on from London." Asking why is it called Kinky Boyz Entertainment? I was like, whoa. And anyway, the reason it's called Kinky Boyz Entertainment is Kingston Park. Kingston Park's the area we're from, so we just sort of took it from there, bro. But it's a bit of a funny one, like.
That's why you need to like jump on the interviews and explain that one, because then it's like,
definitely,
we've got the Kinky Boyz studio. It's like, whoa, I don't know about this one.
Definitely, bro.
How's that recorded? So what got you into music in the first place? Was it just sort of like just listening to UK rap yourself, or sort of like what was the approach?
Listening really? Do you know what it is? When I was a kid, I used to listen to Eminem a lot, so it was just in my head. And then obviously I done football and stuff growing up, but then as times got on, music's like in Newcastle at the minute, it's massive. Do you know what I mean? It's a growing art, so I just kind of hopped on it when everyone was doing it and found myself at this stage I'm at now, to be honest, like. So
yeah
just got to keep going.
And there I heard a few
really?
Sorry, what were you saying, Beezy?
No, I was just gonna add on that and just say, like, you're saying like music's obviously big in Newcastle as well, and like obviously like you're not from up Newcastle, but you know exactly the scene as well, and like I was rapping as well within the scene.
Yeah.
Did you sort of like growing up like hear any sort of northeast rappers yourself, or is it just like getting into it and then realizing like, oh, there's people around here who are starting to rap now and thinking, you know what, this is a scene itself?
But when I started taking notice to music, the rapper who I knew from Newcastle was Reali-T. Now that was back probably 4 or 5 years ago now, but he was the only real rapper who I knew from the northeast. Like I say, I wasn't massive on music or nothing like that growing up. And then it just sort of all clicked into place at the right time, really. But it's just I'm just going as it is, basically. Like it is hard for people to get into music properly these days. I do feel for people because the prices of videos and stuff, it's not really like cheap. Do you know what I mean? So I do feel for people trying to get into the music, especially like I probably came in at just the right time. Do you know what I mean? But for young artists trying to start now, it is hard. Like it is.
I think the difference is like going back further. The cost was in making the music, like going studio and all that.
Yeah.
And that's become cheaper because people can buy their own kit. It's more accessible now. But now the difference is everybody wants a visual. So now the money's going
That's
into
it.
videos,
That's
like
it.
you're saying.
What we've been seeing lately is now what you find is it's not just the music that people want to hear. The video is actually just important as the track itself. Do you know what I mean? And it's a bit crazy, like, but that's how it seems to be now. So you've got to go big on the videos, and they're not cheap, like.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The music you're making there, like I heard some of your older stuff, and it was like a bit of a UK rap kind of vibe. But more recently, it's been sounding more like drill.
Changed it up a bit. Yeah.
It's more got a drill sound now. Would you class yourself as a drill MC?
I do all sorts really. Like every track, every time I go to the studio, I kind of like I've never really got that same flow. So I just if I like a beat and I think, right, I'm going to write on this beat, it's just whatever flow goes to the beat, really, like. But obviously, the reason why you're hearing more drill is because everyone seems to be going crazy over drill at the minute, and that's basically the reason. Do you know what I mean? People don't seem to have time for the more like versatile music. Everyone just wants drill. So I'm just trying to please people, really, like.
Seems like it, doesn't it? It seems like drills. That's all I see. It's like if anybody's gonna sort of just like pop up round Newcastle, it's gonna be off drill, the way I see it, just because of how big it is. And it seems like it's kind of universal as well. Like obviously, like we'll probably talk about it a bit more, but you got like RD. Go on, bro.
And stuff like that. The thing what I think about Newcastle, this might sound crazy, right? But the sort of people we are down here, we're known for being like crazy people. Do you know what I mean? Party animals. I honestly think someone could pop off down here doing like the BBC type stuff. Do you know who I'm on about there?
Yeah, Bad Boy Chiller Crew.
Yeah. It's like obviously I'm not into that stuff myself, but I don't know. I just think sometimes even like I've done it myself when I posted my first video about the blow onto P110. Like people, as soon as they hear that Geordie accent, they just seem to look down on the music straight away. Do you know what I mean? And I think also people seem to take us for a joke down here, because in London, obviously, there is crazy things going on, and it's not so much happening down here, and people seem to add that into the music when it doesn't need to be there. Do you know what I mean? So it's a hard position for us at the minute, like.
Yeah, obviously, looking at that kind of sound that you're talking about there, you've got Body just gone #1, hasn't it? Yeah. So
crazy, man.
It is a big sound at the moment. The thing that I think when I hear that track though, you've got a track that's like a hook about girls, but then there's still talk about violence through it, especially on the remix. It's like drill can't seem to break away from that
the violence
side of it. Yeah, I see a lot of the lads from Newcastle making the music like that, and I think like is Newcastle that bad? Like are all these guys who are talking this actually living this lifestyle?
But that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I try to not talk about that stuff in my music, because it is happening to an extent, but it's not happening to an extent where it's happening like up London and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's just, I just don't see the point in.
Do you know the thing is as well though? It's like, I don't know, like obviously drill, there's more to it than just like the violence and stuff like that. It's, you know what I mean? Like the BPM, it's the hi-hats, like like something you jump on. I think we're just living in a world now as well though. It's like people want to hear like what's going on here, there and everywhere. They want to hear about this type of violence or that type of violence. I mean, like you said, or like you say, you know, when you're sort of like doing it, if you're sort of just talking about just what you want to talk about, I think drill doesn't necessarily have to be that. It's probably where Body, even though like it's just a hook, but like the hook's obviously gone clear in it, and the hook's about girls, like you say,
big batty girls.
You see the state of her body.
What's next for you in terms of like music? What you're looking to do for the future? Is it going to be more the drill sound? Are you gonna branch out a bit more? What's the plans?
Basically for me now, it's trying to hit them big platforms, GRM, mixtape, platforms like that. I'm working with artists from Manchester and stuff like that at the minute, so I'm gonna try and sort of connect us to them. Do you know what I'm saying? Try and make some sort of connection. But it's obviously in the summer I will be dropping some different. It won't just be drill, but it all depends what people want. Whatever people want, I'm happy to try out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I say, the videos, the cost of the videos and stuff like that, it takes time, which is why you don't see artists banging track after track after track after track out. But the rest of the year, I'm going to bring loads and loads of music out. Like, so be ready for it, definitely.
Yeah, man, we'll be keeping an eye out for it. A question I've got, like, as a producer, is when I hear a lot of new music, you know, there's a lot of people popping up around the area, and it seems like everyone's just getting the beats from wherever online. Do MCs these days look to work with producers locally?
Do you know what it is, mate? It's I personally do get my beats online, and all I use an app called BeatStars, and I lease my beats off there, or you can also buy them off there. But it's for you to get a private. It comes down to the cost for you to get a beat made exclusively for you. You're looking at a couple of £100 easy. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to. So my answer to that is, at the minute, no, I don't like get exclusive beats made at the minute, but we'll see as time goes on.
Just to jump on there, 40, with you then, do you feel like that's something that's like different, like nowadays, as like you being a producer, like say like we can sort of use Reali-T because he's in the Neighbourhood guy. He might come to you and get sort of beat done, whereas like obviously Pop Smoke reached out to, do you know what I mean, London producers to do all the New York drill stuff, and they're still doing that. And it's just like what you're saying, B.Ripz, like, you know, it's easy to just look online or go on BeatStars and find that. Do you find that different yourself, 40? Just sort of adding you into this?
I don't know, because people call me daft, but I never charged anyone for a beat. I charged one person for a beat, and it was years ago, like 8-9 years ago, and it was £30 exclusive beat. But everything else I've ever done is just because I love making music.
Love doing it.
See, I think for what you're seeing there is, there is producers in Newcastle who will who are like you, that don't charge for the beats. But the problem is, you've got this group and this group and this group. Do you know what I mean? So everyone's sort of like separated into groups. Yeah, bro, 100%. And this group won't work with this group, and this group won't work. And if you work with that group, then someone from that group won't work with you. It's madness. It is. It's confusing. But that's the problem.
I feel like I want to know more about it, but I don't want to come across like DJ Vlad, and I'm
so, B.Ripz, tell us all the groups.
It's fucking it is. So it is. It's crazy. Just it's like it's mad. For example, if you do a track with the wrong person, well, I wouldn't say the wrong person. If you decided to do a track with somebody, and then but someone from another group didn't like that, then there's no chance of you two working together. Do you know what I mean? And you've got like the big artists in Newcastle. You've got like the people who are seen as big artists. Sometimes they'll only share certain stuff from certain groups of people, and it's crazy. Like there's a lot of hate like in the music game, 100%, especially in Newcastle there is, but you don't really see it. But it is crazy.
It's the same in every city, really.
Yeah.
Trying to work with certain people and stuff. There's madness. It is. It's
one thing.
But it is what it is, isn't it? So
one thing I wanted to ask, bro, is B.Ripz, B.Ripz, is that coming from like ripping bongs and that?
Nah, it's not. You know what it is, bro, right? It's.
Oh, he's gone again.
I can't even. Am I here?
Yeah, you're back, mate.
Are you back? Am I back?
Yeah, man. What is your router, a potato or what?
Am I back? Do you know what it is? It's because I'm on. It's because I'm on my 4G on that, but it's fucking shite. It's the signal in here. It's absolutely cabbage.
Oh well, mate. Yeah, I was just. I don't know if we might edit that bit out. I'm not sure, but I was just saying about. B.Ripz sounds like you were like heavy smoker or something. You were ripping bongs. They give you that nickname, but we didn't quite catch it when you explained what it's from.
Well, basically, this is you know what it is. I knew I was going to get asked this question at some time. I wasn't expecting it to be now, but and anyway, B.Ripz. Basically, from my younger days, I used to get in a lot of trouble. I could say, and I didn't used to pay me bills. Basically, that's what I'll say. But just taking a piss in the studio one day, and someone said B.Ripz, and that's where it came from. Really, it stuck
Right.
since then. Obviously, I've grown up a bit now. You know what I mean? But everyone seems to think it's like bong rips. You know what I mean? That's what everyone seems to think it's. Seems to think it comes off, but it doesn't. It comes from a bit of a bad past, like.
That's the northeast in us,
It
bro.
is what it is. Again, that's it. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie.
change.
You asked the question, so I told you the truth.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Well, anyway, we spoke about a bit of violence and drill, and don't want to labour that point too much. We'll move on to a different kind of violence. So I wanted to talk about this fight that's going to be happening. It's been all over the internet. I don't know if you've seen it, Rips, mate, but Hezbollah and Abdul Razak, the two little guys, Mini Khabib.
Oh yeah. I've seen that.
I've seen the press
I
conference.
didn't know by name, but when you mentioned that,
yeah, Mini Khabib, he's like 18 years old, isn't he? But he looks like he's about 2.5.
Mate, he's 18.
He's 18 and he's fighting another guy who's 17 from I think it was like Tajikistan or somewhere like that.
He's got a foot. He acts like an old man, doesn't he?
Yeah, he acts like an old. He looks like an old man, but like he's tiny. My question is, right?
He does.
People are going to be watching it.
Go on.
Is it okay to watch that? Should we be promoting these people fighting?
Yeah.
You know what it is? It'll be interesting to hear. I think it'll be interesting to watch. Even I think like is it just them two fighting on that card then, or is it loads of people who are in the same?
It's all in Russia.
You know what I mean?
Is it loads of little people?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it loads of them, or is it just that one fight?
Mate,
that's a good question.
There's no problem watching this, right? The boxing game right now is a madness. I don't care, right? You've got Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul. Yeah, they might be normal size, right? Don't care, man. Little Man was fighting that other dude when Little Man came out of jail. I was on that. I was like, honestly,
you know what it is though? I don't agree with these YouTubers jumping into boxing. Like, I think they're going to spoil the sport completely. But it's all about money, isn't it? It's all about money.
Do you think it'll get more people watching boxing though?
It does, but 100% because like that Jake Paul there. Have you seen how many subscribers he's got on YouTube? It's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? So it is making money and it is bringing more people in. But is it really like people are trained their full life to do that, and then some numpty from down the road who's on YouTube's just going to come and just like that step in the ring? But
yeah, I get it.
The question, what you were saying before about the small people, the question I would have is, no, seriously, right? Is the ring small? So, you know what I'm saying? No, like,
mate,
well, how does that work?
You gotta put them in the full ring, mate. You've got to put them in the full ring. You got to let them just run for each other, like. But
it's probably going to be in a cage, It's not even a boxing match. It's MMA fight.
Oh, is it UFC? Is it?
Oh, I was gonna throw he threw the left. He threw the right. He threw the right kick, didn't he? When they tried to like pull them apart.
He did.
You saw the right, didn't you, 40?
Seen it. I also seen he trains against children. So he's 18 years old, and he trains with like 6-7 years olds, and he's there choking them out.
Okay, now
you know what it is. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like the I don't know how you say it politically correct, but let's just go with the small people because B already said it with the small people league, right? Because Little Man's in there, the person that Little Man was fighting's in there. You got Hezbollah. There's a market for this, So
40, what we're saying is,
I'm watching
like,
it, mate.
Would be discriminating if we didn't let them fight each other.
Well, yeah.
Like
but that's it. Kind of. It is. You know what?
Yeah, because you can look at it from the point of view as we're making a spectacle of these little people who might have like a disability, really. Or we can look at it like, well, actually, if we didn't let them fight, would be discriminating them then?
Exactly. They threw Little Man in prison. I only bring Little Man up because I just saw loads of it going on. It's not as if I'm a Little Man fan. But like, he was in prison.
He's the biggest name in the little sport, isn't he? He's like the
biggest little man.
He's the main man, isn't he?
He's the biggest little man.
He's the biggest. Yeah.
So if he's a Joe, right, if he's a Joe with just a Gen Pop Joe, right, and he comes out and he wants to make his money and all that, and he's like, yeah, I'm a boxer. Of course, like he's gonna be fighting people. What are we being told? Fight people your own size. Boom.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. It feels like we're taking the piss, but we're not really. Like,
no, we're not.
It's a serious question.
Nah.
The thing is, like, there's not like like a bunch of other little people can watch it as well. But hey, mate, I'm 5'4", I'll watch it.
We're gonna get you in there next, B.
It's crazy.
Find me someone in Newcastle, I'll fight it. I'll be on it. You can't be.
Yeah, man.
What do you two think about? What do you two think about the about Fury having to drop out of this Anthony Joshua fight?
What to fight
Interesting,
Wilder?
Yeah, because it was made the fight and then he had to drop out, didn't he? At the last, he's fighting Wilder now.
Yeah.
So
I think even though when you watch the fights, like he probably should have won both fights, Fury. But on paper, there's like a win. No, there's a draw and there's a win, so there needs to be a third, right?
So
the thing is, though,
did it need to be now? From Wilder's point of view, he obviously wants it now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But the thing is, right? Wilder had a certain amount of time after that fight to see him fight, and he didn't take that opportunity. So I don't think. No, I mean it's moved on now.
No, I get it. But I guess it comes down to legalities, and like we've got a sort of practices law here. So
see the absolute fucking switcheroo
over a Beezy,
right.
Man.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the thing is there's I guess the two biggest part of it is Wilder probably is wanting to take the time away and see what's going to happen, and knowing that there's going to be a legality point of view because they signed a contract saying that there need to be 3 fights, and so the third fight's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
The thing is I see. I reckon Fury's like he fucked it a little bit by speaking a lot outside, like saying a lot, because he knew for a fact that this was going to happen, like this arbitration ruling,
this third fight was going to come.
This court ruling is going to happen. So like it was to put a pressure on. I think it was to put a pressure on and saying like, do you know what? If everybody sort of moves forward, then like if Josh was on board, Eddie Hearn and them ones have like got it backed and that, like put pressure on and say everything's sorted. But at the end of the day, like you say, 40, like the law's gonna like win over, and unless, you know what I mean, Wilder comes out and says I'll take 30 million, you just leave it alone. Like it's gonna happen, isn't it?
Yeah, man. It's got to. Either way,
But
I'll enjoy watching both the fights.
Do you know what I mean? It's still this. It's not a Mayweather Pacquiao thing where like when they fought, then it was like 5 years too late. Like if it's next year, it'll still be a good fight. Do you know what I mean? It's just the fact that we've got to wait a bit more because these boxers don't obviously fight that often. But we've got Hasbulla and like probably his little man coming up as well. So you know what I mean? We've got fights.
I'm gonna be spoiled for choice.
Little man versus Joshua.
Oh, my money's on.
Yeah, man.
That's like WWE back in the day when you used to have like the dwarves fight.
100%.
Absolute nuts, mate. WWE was absolutely wrong.
Wasn't it just?
Hornswoggle.
Yeah, that's the one.
I used to love it when I was a kid though, because like when I was a kid, you used to be able to put WWF on and see tits, and I loved it.
Yeah. The announcer used to shout puppies. It was like, what are you going on about?
Yeah, man. And the crowd used to chant it. There'd be like 20,000 people saying, "Get your puppies out."
Absolutely insane.
Loved it. But from one kind of competition and fighting to another kind of competition, I want to have a bit of chat about UK MCs. Top 3 UK MCs. Who's your top 3? Let's start with Beezy.
Top 3.
You tell us, Beezy.
You want to go with me, right? Cool.
Yeah, go you first.
Yeah, man. I'll keep them flowing. For me, number 1 is sort of like personal favorite, really, and it's Skepta. Because lyrically, I think there might be better. There's better lyricists, and my other 2 are probably better lyrically than Skepta as well. But for me, Skepta like got me into UK grime, UK rap, whatever you want to see it. The presence, the delivery is it's top tier. The way that he just flows on any beat and the way that he presents himself, just absolutely sick. And then just the impact he's had as well on UK hip hop, and still does like some great albums, few classic albums in there for me, and like it just feels like he just ages better with time. And if he is going to retire, then you know what I mean, he's done.
I can't argue with that one, mate.
He's an OG. He's an OG. He's an OG.
My second, let's say the other two probably more locally Gets is my second.
I've got Gets in mine as well.
He's just a killer, mate. Like he's just an absolute killer. He's just like
another one I can't argue with.
And some elements I sort of always thought that to like real to you know us who are like within music and like just absolutely love UK grime, Gets was sort of a bit underrated and not seen on the level that he should be. But like I'm just so happy that like he's released an album that's probably more mainstream and probably's got more publicity than like the previous ones have. And it's up there, like it's up there lyrically, and he's got the right producers on, and it's absolutely sick.
You see the growth as well. I think like it's you know there's depth to it, isn't there? Nah, I agree with you, mate. Who's your number one then?
Kano.
Kano, you know, I didn't even think of Kano in mind.
Honestly, Kano for me is just like he's just a barer. Like every single way of it. Like there's not much else to say really. And like Made in the Man is like one of like probably one of my top 5 favorite albums ever. So
I can't argue with any of them.
But you know what I mean? That's mine.
I wanted to put this little segment together where we're doing this top 3 because I wanted to get a bit of argument in there, but I can't really argue with them 3.
That's the thing,
a solid 3.
You may be able to have a bit of argument with mine. Like mine are all sort of new artists.
But that's it. I want to hear that. Let's go.
B.Ripz, what's yours? Top 3 UK MCs.
So I've got. I'll start with the third. My third is Fredo.
Okay.
Reason being, it's because I think from like the stage that I was talking about 4 years ago, he was the incoming thing. So when music started to change towards the sort of music it is today, I was kind of listening to him. And also he released a tune called I Carumba. And I was in Ibiza when he released that, and that's just stuck in my head that was the best holiday of my life. You know what I mean? So that
it means something to you then. Like he's part of your kind of like your memories, isn't he? So it means something. I can't argue too much if that's the
definitely.
case.
So on that one, then, do you think he's still? Because you've obviously like you've been on him since the start, Mattel. Like where he started off to where he is now, do you think he's actually improved, or do you think he's somewhat gone down a bit? Because from my point of view, like I remember when I hear Fredo and I was like, oh, he sounds so different, and like even the flow sounded mad. To like now, I'm like, is he still up there yet or not? So what do you think?
I think I know exactly what you mean. At the minute, he doesn't seem to be doing bits at the minute.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about him is he's always been the same. He's always brought the same type of tracks out. You know what I mean? So I don't at the minute. I wouldn't say he is up there, but from all time, I would say he's definitely in my top 3.
Okay.
Obviously, in the UK, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
That's what I would say. But he's not on it at the minute. He's not. He doesn't seem to be on it at the minute. Like
that's the way I saw it. Like that's the way I saw it. But I get what you mean then, in terms of just like all time.
Yeah, that's it. That'll bring us up nicely on.
I was just gonna say, mate, there, like I get that like Redman's in my top 5, but like is he like on it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so I get it. Fredo for you's there for you. Yeah, who's your second one, bro?
My second one, literally, this second one is because of the exact same reason. When I started listening to music, and at the minute I think he is starting to do bits again, but I don't think he's got as much following as he did have back then, but millions. At the minute, I think the quality in his songs are still the same, but he doesn't seem to be getting as many views as he once got. And but I think he will come back to the top, definitely.
Yeah. Do
you think 100%.
Do you think with the thing with millions, like when I think of like drill rappers as well, I just think he just flows so calmly on these drill
different.
He's different. Yeah.
His voice goes mad. His voice goes like mad with the drill flow.
I mean, I know we've already even spoke about like the drill stuff and that, but do you think that's sort of like one of the things like you'll listen to where it's like he's not super like violent with it, he's not super just like mad with it, but like just the way that he even says like how he's just going down a shot or something, it's just the way he spins it around in the tracks,
yeah, it's the way he does it, the way he says it, and it's the voice that he's got, you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's made for that type of music, so that's why he's in that list. And the most number one for me at the minute, it has to be Central C, because I think he's absolutely killing it at the minute. That is why he's my number one at this very moment in time. I think he is probably up there at the top of the UK right now.
Is he an industry plant?
Well, you could say, but I don't know. You know what it is, right? It comes back to like the subject of like real rap. Like people question him on his rap, but people still love him. You know what I mean? So he's kind of like, if he is fake, he's kind of overcame that. And I just think every track that he brings out is a 10 out of 10. I haven't heard a track yet off him. That's, and I think if he started working with people, I think he would pop off. And that's where I think I don't know if you've seen it lately, but he's been with Fredo a lot. So that's if that song was to be released, I think it would be an absolute banger. Do you know what I mean? And I think he's doing the most at the minute, definitely.
Yeah, man. No, that was a solid 3. Definitely a bit more new school and
but that's like I wasn't saying for it. That's a 3 like probably in like a few years time. Be like, all right, they're like, that's like the ones that are coming through and that, and like if they work and put like albums out properly, you're like, right, this is the way that UK hip hop's going, and like drill and stuff like that. So we'll come back to that in 3 years time and be like, well, B.Ripz is a visionary.
Right, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
Yeah, my top 3. I'll just keep it quick. Wiley, Gets, Chip. That's my top 3 UK MCs. Wiley's got to be there. Go on, mate.
I don't agree on Chip. Like,
Stormzy fan.
I don't know. Nah, do you know what?
I'm kidding.
Nothing to do with that. Like, I think like back in the day when he was bringing his old stuff out, yeah, he was good, but his new stuff, I don't get into it, mate. I just think it's a bit gash.
Do you know what I see with the new stuff? Like his new stuff's not my favourite, but I've seen him go through so many waves. I know he'll come back again with tunes that are playing on repeat. Like when he was clashing with Bugsy Malone, some of them tracks were the hardest sends that I've ever heard. Like his versatility is mad. He can literally bar on any genre.
Anything.
And he's going to sound comfy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why he's in there for me. And the length of time he's done it. And then Gets, we already talked about. And then
he's been around.
While he's been in my playlist for nearly 20 years straight. So, he's got to go on my number 1 spot for UK MCs.
The Godfather.
His work rate's mad.
Yeah, Wiley's a good shout, definitely.
Yeah, he's a bit crazy in that. Obviously, like he's kind of like blackballed right now, but yeah, man, I think he's still putting tunes out as well. You know.
Oh, man, he's like, you'll find a way of putting them tunes out. Like he probably has an OnlyFans open where he's putting just music out on a daily basis.
OnlyFans,
100%.
People do music stuff on OnlyFans. I seen some producers doing tutorials and stuff through there.
Are you gonna give your $20 to your favorite producer or your favorite? So that's the problem.
That's a madness. That like.
That's where you need to go, B.Ripz, man, for your exclusive production. Get yourself on OnlyFans.
Kinky Boyz studio on
OnlyFans. Kinky Boyz.
Kinky Boyz on OnlyFans, mate.
Kinky
Boyz all comes together.
Gotta hear first.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, man. Let's close it up with our track of the weeks. Rips, man. Right. You go with yours. What's your track of the week?
My track of the week, I've had it on repeat for a couple of weeks now. Actually, it's SR, Practice Makes Perfect.
Yeah, man. This it, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a tune. I'm not really that familiar with SR, you know.
Nah, do you know what it is? He's new. You know this song? It reminds a bit of Pop Smoke. That's why I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
it does a little bit, yeah.
R.I.P. Pop Smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man. No, that sounded hard. I played
hard.
it before. Obviously, you told me before we started what your track of the week was, and yeah, I was blasting it on the speakers, and it was a vibe, mate. It was a vibe. What about
Yes.
you, Beezy? What you saying? What's your track of the week?
Yeah, man. I've gone proper hip hop, and like when it comes to like hip hop, but like one of them old school sounding ones, Griselda obviously like doing bits there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's 6:30 Tip Off by Conway the Machine. Just listen to his
Yeah.
album. It's solid, man.
This it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's it's a little bit more chill, bit more laid back than some of the drilling stuff we've been talking about, isn't it?
Oh, man.
But
You need a balance though, don't you, man? Healthy lifestyle. Do you know what I'm saying?
that's what it is, mate. That's what it is.
Proper music.
bit of rave on the weekends, you know what I mean? Still up here in the northeast.
Yeah, man.
About 40. What's
We'll
yours?
close out with man. Look, you're talking about your top three there, Rips, and you had Central C, and who else? You have Millions. I'm familiar with them as like drill MCs, but my favorite drill MC is Unknown T, and he's on a track that's on Dino's album Medicine, so that's my track of the week. I don't know if you've heard it.
I've heard it. It's a sick track. Unknown T kills it.
Every time.
Yeah, man. The floor is mad. Yeah, man, that's my track of the week. Thanks for coming through the neighbourhood, B.Ripz.
B.Ripz.
It's been good having
No
you here.
problem, man. Anytime.
The connection's been having our life like, so I don't know how much is making it into the final cut of the podcast. We might have to cut a few bits out, but hopefully it's all kind of continuous and makes sense for everyone. Yeah, man. Episode 15 in your neighbourhood podcast. Thanks for listening.
Yo, Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood, aka my mother's favourite rapper, and this is the In Your Neighbourhood podcast, baby.